Hey guys, it's Neva from Manic Mama Musings, and here I am. Welcome back to everyone that's watching me, and thank you for watching. You know, I tell you all the time, I appreciate you, appreciate the comments. Come on, Ziggy. So, I'm doing this later than I thought, and I have a migraine, so I'm sorry it's dark. But the light is hurting my eyes. As you can see, I'm in my pajamas and will be staying there for the rest of the day. I did not get a video of my mood blanket, but I am going to try to get it and slip it in a video. But today just wasn't. It was windy this morning, and my head was achy this morning, and it was windy. And I thought, well, if I go out in that wind, I'm going to have a migraine. I didn't go out in the wind, and I still ended up with a migraine. The wind has died down now, but the sun, I can't go out there. It's too bright, and plus LJ's napping for work. Monroe, stop. So, I will put a video, though. I think I'm just going to finish out with, I'm going to go ahead and do March with my blanket. And then maybe it's too enormous. I don't know. We'll see. It's just getting really big, so it's hard to work on. And, I mean, I don't think another month would be too doggone big for a bed. It'd probably be perfect. But, yeah, it's hard. But I'm going to tough it out. And then in April, whoever wants to join me, I'll start a new mood project. I want to make a really big rug. So that might be the next, what would be April, May, and June. And then after that, I think I want to do a shawl. And I want to do it Halloween colors, because then it'll be July, August, September, so it'd be right before October. And that would be cool. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Talk about a mental health day. Yeah, I slept. I was up this morning and I made us some eggs for breakfast, and then I ate, and I'm working on, where'd it go? That was loud, wasn't it? I had a friend contact me. Well, she made a group chat with me and another lady who had been looking for an angel wrap for her cousin, or no, niece, that had miscarried. So I had never seen one or made one. She showed me the picture, and I looked for a pattern. I found the pattern. The pattern doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I will be sure, and at least she wants it by tomorrow, so I've got to finish it up. So I won't have it to make a video with probably, but I will take a picture of it. I'm following the pattern, what I can understand of it, and then just winging it. But I thought, what a sweet cinnamon she wants to do for her niece. And so I want to try my hardest, because she had posted, I guess in like a Facebook group or something, that she had needed one and no one was able to help her. And I was like, you know what? I will do my best, and I hope that she likes it. So I'm going to do that, because I think it'd make me feel good to do something nice. I had a sister who lost... Okay, I had a sister who miscarried early on. Then I had another sister that was... I don't remember how far along she was, but the baby was only that big. She had to... she had placenta previa, and the placenta separated from the uterine wall, and her baby died. Nathaniel died. He had a name, Nathaniel, and so they had to induce her, and she had to give birth to him. So because I guess where everything was located, she would have hemorrhaged if they'd have tried to do a DNC. I don't understand it all. But so um, and then the same sister that had the early miscarriage. I think I've mentioned this before. I had my niece had trisomy 18, and she died at a year and a half. So, um, child loss is close to me. I have a friend whose daughter passed away at 17 in a car wreck, and so it I know how it affects someone as far as from the outside seeing in, and so I I actually thought, well, that wouldn't be a bad idea if I could figure out a pattern after this that works for me to make some up and have them available for people. Um, so I'm going to try to do that. That's not got to do with Mental Health Monday. I got a little squirrely. Sorry. Um, but yeah, so that's what I'm up to today. I slept through my counseling appointment, so he was actually must have been running late because I was waiting and I must have fallen asleep while I was waiting. And then I got comfortable and just completely spaced it out and slept for a few hours. I don't sleep at night though. Like I could go to bed at 9 o'clock and it takes forever for me, no matter how tired I am, to wind down. So I don't know. And okay, so here's where I tell you, if you have not watched Crime Scene, the Cecil Hotel, Disappearance at Cecil Hotel, and you don't like spoilers, do not watch the rest of this because I'm going to talk about it because it links to mental health. So there, you had your warning. Now I'm going to talk about it. So for you that have watched it, if you want to comment and chime in, wonderful. So we watched it. And so at first I told LJ, I was like, when they showed the elevator scene, I was like, she looks, okay, so let me set it up for those people that haven't watched it, that don't care to watch it, or just so a girl, I don't remember her name because I'm bad at names. She was from Canada. She lived in Canada, and she had decided to take this wonderful journey, like this adventure to California, Los Angeles, California. And she found the Cecil Hotel, which was a cheaper place, and she could stay for a while. And she wanted to experience the world. She was like 21 or 22. By then, I was pretty wild. But so she goes and she stays. Now, to explain to you, this hotel used to be like, I guess, this really fancy, nice, glamorous hotel. And then Skid Row hit. And then all it had was like week-to-week boarders who were, drug addicts, prostitutes. You get the idea. Mentally ill people who were homeless but needed a room for a few nights because it was cold. Whatever. So then when this one company took over, they were going to make it into this beautiful, wonderful hotel again. Well, because of the way it was zoned, they had to, I think it was residential zoning. So in other words, part of it had to be like apartment type rent or whatever. And so they had made half the hotel into like low-income housing kind of type thing, stay by the week or whichever, or by the month. And then the other side was kind of like for tourists, like come and stay with us, and we're right downtown Los Angeles and that kind of thing. Okay, they were separate, but the hotel side, they had to share a communal bathroom, which that would have freaked me out anyway. I don't like sharing. I wouldn't like that idea. I hate sharing the bathroom with my kids because it takes forever when I need to go to the bathroom. And you know, you hit a certain age, your bladder's not like it used to be. So it was communal. You get the idea. And then, and the only time the two sides met, or two, I don't know exactly how it split up, was one or two elevators that they would have to share to get downstairs or upstairs. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So they did have to come in contact with these people, which I'm not saying these people are bad. A lot of people end up in situations because of things out of their control. But you get the idea. Now, Cecil Hotel is known for the night stalker stayed there. Another guy from, I think they said Denmark, that was there, that moved here, who killed prostitutes, stayed there. And there's a lot of death that has happened at the Cecil Motel. Hotel. So this girl goes, and so they show the video of her last day that they have proof of her, because she disappeared, okay? And her actions, I told LJ, I was like, first I said she looks like she's on drugs. Not knowing something that I'm about to talk about, but I was like, she looks like her movements are like she's on drugs, like meth or something. Now, this is a girl who had never drank, never done drugs, very straight-laced. And so, like, you wouldn't think that she'd go to Los Angeles, where she's away from everything she knows, and try stuff for her first time. But you never know. Because maybe it was she got away from her parents and decided to go crazy. Well, you know, wild. So then they reveal that she was bipolar because she was a blogger. So it reveals that she was bipolar. And then I told LJ, I was like, those movements now make more sense on the mental health issue, because I've seen people have episodes like that move like that. It's called bipolar schizoaffective disorder. And so I was like, wow. So then my brain starts, you know, because she looked like she was running from someone, but no one showed up in the video. And in case you don't understand, like you are not familiar, your brain convinces you of things, that you see things that aren't there, you hear things that aren't there. It makes you paranoid. I've been there, done that. So never really felt like anybody was specifically after me, but I have felt like the whole world was against me, kind of thing. And I have thoughts of, they don't love me, they're better off with that. Like, your brain can do some wicked stuff to you. And so that's what I told him. And he's like, I wonder if she committed suicide. And so then it goes further and further. Well, they're not finding her, okay? They don't know where she disappeared to after that video in the elevator. Now, she kept pushing buttons, but she kept pushing the door open button that keeps the door open. So it was really strange. Everybody swore, okay, why is somebody keeping the doors open? But when they zoomed in, it was her pushing, when she's pushing all these buttons, pushing the door open button, which, like I said, your brain does some weird stuff. So what is logical to you is logical to no one else. Okay? It's in your brain and it makes sense in your brain, but it's not reality. So we keep watching. And I was just like, I wonder if I bet she committed suicide. So we watch and we learn more about her and how severe her bipolar was, So then all of a sudden the tenants, their water, we were having low water pressure and it was a funky color. You see where I'm going with this. And so finally, after a few days of people complaining, they sent a maintenance guy up to the water tanks that they had on top of the hotel. And the lid was open. when the maintenance guy got there. And she was floating in there, dead. So the water was because of her body, which had been there quite a long time. I can't remember how long. I suck at that kind of stuff. I didn't write it all down because it wasn't really what I wanted to talk about why she ended up there, not so much. So then they talk about some of her more severe episodes she had had in the past. Now, some people are like, how could she be allowed to go? Once someone's an adult, unless you can prove, unless you go through and it's sometimes it's hard to prove that they're incapable of taking care of themselves and get kind of guardianship over them, then they're so she had no drugs in her system when they found her body. Okay, they did an autopsy, no drugs, no alcohol, but the levels of her psychiatric meds were lower than they should be. So when they looked at the bottles, she had quit taking them for a while. That explains the episode. That explains the movements. So then I tell Jay, I bet that she thought her brain convinced her someone was after her. She found a way up to the top of the building. She didn't want to die. She was hiding from somebody. Because, she could have always jumped off the side of the building. But I said, I bet that she climbed in the water tower, not thinking clearly, to hide. Then the water level goes down and she can't get back out. I was like, I bet that's what happened. And he goes, that makes sense, yes. So they investigate, and that's pretty much the conclusion they came to, is that she had an episode, a mental break, whatever. And she climbed up to the top of the building to hide from somebody. And the only place to really hide was in the water tank. She climbed in there, and hence she drowned, because the water level didn't ever stay up at the top. It went down as people were drinking the water or showering or whatever. It was up and down, and she couldn't get back out. So that's what I want to talk about. For those of you that have those episodes, and for those of you that deal with someone with those episodes, your brain can make you believe some really crazy stuff. I was in a hospital one time with a lady who was convinced that the FBI, I think that's what she thought it was, or CIA, I don't remember what she said it was after her. And she literally started in Florida, drove her car. Then she decided they knew what her car looked like, so she found this guy who, she went looking through the newspaper or whatever, and she found a guy selling a car, not a car lot, just a guy selling his car. She left her car and her driver's license with him, for security, and she took off in that car. And she was trying to go to Mexico. And she made it to somewhere in Texas. And then she realized that for whatever, I don't know, she didn't think she was going to get away from them. She made it Texas, kind of South Texas, and I don't know I can't remember if the car broke down or she decided that they were close. So she went to the police station for help, and of course by then had been turned in for stealing a car and blah blah blah, because she left her driver's license with those people. And yeah, and then of course once she was evaluated, she was sent to the mental hospital because, and you could say, oh, she was faking it because she stole this car, but her coming from Florida made no sense except for that. She wasn't a hardened criminal kind of person. So yeah, so your brain can convince you of some crazy, crazy stuff. Sorry, guys. So, I've also shared with you how my cousin committed suicide. He was not the type of person growing up that you would ever have thought he was the one that would end up, you know. And he had kids, and he loved his kids, and he was a hard worker. I believe that his brain convinced him of something um, outrageous. I don't know. He did call his mom and just told his mom that please forgive me, but he never gave any details as to why he committed suicide. It was a little while before he had a nervous breakdown and went into the hospital that he called his mom and told her that. And then, of course, I think at that point, when he had the nervous breakdown, he was planning on committing suicide. And he got out of the hospital, and he still wasn't better. I feel like they didn't keep him long enough to evaluate him, and he committed suicide. So, and he loved his kids. He would have never done that to his kids if his brain hadn't convinced him of something crazy. So, my brain has done the same to me. I have never, only one time was I violent to someone, and there was a reason, but it wasn't a logical reason. And that's when I got diagnosed. And I have never hurt anyone after that. So, you know, like, sometimes I said things I shouldn't say because of anxiety and my brain not working properly. But physically, I've only hurt myself except for one time, and I really just think that was my poor impulse control because of my bipolar, because there was a reason. There was something that instigated it, and then I just, but that wasn't me. I didn't usually react. I'm not a violent person. I believe in make love, not war kind of thing. So, yeah. Your mental illness can make you somebody that people that love you don't recognize, that you don't even recognize yourself. So that was my mental health, guys. I also want to talk about, I was watching someone's channel, and I won't say their name because, I mean, you know, if you watch them, you'll probably know who it is. And if you don't, then it's really, you know, it's for their story to tell. But somebody, I've watched him quite a bit. And I like him because he just talks about day to day and how he's feeling. And, oh, I'm not having a good day. Or I'm having a great day. That kind of thing. Like, that's why I watch him, is because he's real and he talks about his life. So apparently some people, because he started doing daily vlogs, apparently some people were very rude to him. This is the gist I get of what he said in the comments or emails, I don't know, about his moods, and kind of made him feel bad for making his daily vlogs and sometimes talking about just how he's feeling that day. Well, I'm glad he didn't let him get to him. I'm thankful for that. It did for a little bit, and then he decided he's just going to do him. And and it's true. Why don't watch someone's channel if you don't like what they have to say? That's why at first I was real sad because I didn't have a lot of subscribers, but I talk about stuff that not everybody wants to hear about, and so I'm good, because those people that are subscribed to me and watch me want to hear what I have to say. If people start being mean to me, I'm like, well, then just don't watch me. So I'm real happy that he felt that way. But honestly, why leave a rude comment? Just don't watch him anymore. I stopped watching people because they say something I don't agree with. Not always stuff I don't agree with, but it just, you realize that there's somebody that you don't have a lot in common with, that you can't connect with, that you don't. Some people, it cause me more anxiety to watch them. When I watch someone, I want it to be just kind of, oh, I can relate to that, or or they're very soothing and relaxing to me, and so therefore that's why I watch them. So that's my advice for especially for someone who deals with depression and other mental illness. Something I realize, you shouldn't do a video if you can't handle it, but at the same time, why are you watching somebody and have to say something rude to them? If you really enjoy their content, then keep watching them. If you have a problem with their content, I mean, my content changes all the time, just like my moods, and y'all know that. if you have a problem with their content, then quit watching them. There's no reason to say ugly things to somebody. None at all. So there's my thought on that. And if those people that said that to him are participating in the hat not hate, then shame on you even more, because you're not getting the idea, because you're being a bully. And no, you don't just have to be a kid to be a bully. I know a lot of adult bullies. A lot. So yes, shame on you. If you're promoting hat not hate, but yet you're commenting something ugly, that's bullying. Don't push your feelings and your beliefs on someone else. Let somebody be them. And if you don't like what they have to say on Facebook, delete them. Unsubscribe on YouTube. You know what I mean? Unfollow them on Instagram. That's the easy as that. You don't have to say anything. So there's my thoughts, guys. Happy Mental Health Monday, and I will get my blanket, a video of it sooner or later, and I'll take a picture of that angel wrap when I get it done. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful week.